Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are live here for Divine Eye Racing. We are in Division 2, Series 2, Round 7 here at Spa. And it should be it should throw up quite a race, to be honest. There's there's obviously a high chance of rain around here. So are the drivers going to be contending with rain during qualifying? Are they going to be contending with rain during the race? We shall see. But as it stands, we don't quite know what's going to be happening. But as the race unfolds, we will know what's happening. Hopefully, once the drivers get into Part Ferme, we might know what's due to happen in the race. If we do have a weather reporter sitting on the grid ready to rock and roll to let us know what is happening. As I say again, we are live here on Divine Eye. We are in Division 2, Season 2, Round 7 here in Spa. And we're just waiting for everybody to actually get on the grid and start to get setups live, etc. We are live on the YouTube channel, so please follow the YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. I have got the YouTube channel live next to me as well on my laptop, so any communications via there in the chat will be greatly received as well. Unfortunately, tonight Thomas can't make it with us, so I shall be conducting the stream solo tonight. So I hope you guys like it. I did do that last night as well, as Waps couldn't make D1. But hopefully we should see a cracker of race. We saw a certainly good race last night for Division 1 um in Silverstone, which we actually had rain in the last few laps, which really threw a spanner in the works for some of the guys. A couple of guys made a bold call going on to softs. Both the Ferraris, Touchsky and Divine Eye, went onto the softs. A couple of guys missed out from not staying on the softs and going on to inters, which possibly could have cost a race win. But tonight we've got a similar situation. Belgium is a track that can throw up weather scenarios. So we just got to see what the weather actually pans out for tonight. As per the constructors championship goes, I believe Kev is leading the championship. But to be honest, I'm going to totally focus on racetrack action as I get back into the swing of things with commentating, as I haven't done it for a while. But I thank you all for taking part in the race. I think anybody that's watching the stream as well, thank you very much. Please feel free to put your comments in the stream so that I can communicate with you as well. The stream is live and open next to me, so I can communicate with anybody that does put any chats in the chat box, shall we say. But yeah, as we say, Belgium can throw up strategy options. Typical option around here is typically your medium hard, depending on what the weather throws up. And as we've said, the weather can already throw up numerous kinds of different options. So I think as it stands at the moment, certainly through qualifying, unless it's wet, the guy's going to be throwing on obviously the softs, unless as well it does go to wet during quali. But we shall see how this pans out. The race is going to be an interesting one. I do feel I do see now. Here's a track which I've had many conversations with other league racers before about, and some are saying you need to run low downforce, you need to run high downforce, you need straight line speed, you need cornering speed. If I'm honest, you do need. I personally will be running on the higher side, so more downforce. Yes, obviously you're going to gain it in the straights. Of course you are. You know, top of Eau Rouge, going down the back straight, or the first DRS straight, should I say, you're going to gain so much time, it's crazy. But come the end of your tyre life, when you're struggling for grip, sectors 2 and 3, you're going to totally struggle with grip. So the higher downforce can come into play. So don't expect, if you see on stream somebody flying past somebody else, and you can clearly see that they've got a lower downforce. Don't necessarily expect that they're going to run away with a position or a race win, because that's not necessarily the case. I honestly believe a higher downforce around here is probably a slightly better way to go. Yes, you can make the lower downforce work if you're good throughout the bends and you got your braking points absolutely spot on with your exits. So we're just gonna have to see how this pans out, but I should imagine there's gonna be some different strategies coming into play here. Higher downforce, lower downforce, tire strategies as well. You know, you could potentially use a soft sand here if you're daring, and potentially go for a soft medium. You could potentially go for a soft hard. So we're just going to have to see how this one actually pans out. But as it stands, we're keeping an eye on qualifying. You know, qualifying is qualifying. You know, particularly myself, I've never been a great qualifier, especially not in this game. The game before, yes, I was more of a qualifying than race pace, if I'm honest. But the 23 game, I was more of a race pace over quali, so I'd sacrifice quali because I think this game is more to do with setups than what the last game was. So I would sacrifice quali a little bit more. If I qualify P4, P5, I'll be happy because I know I can make it up in race pace, and that's certainly what seemed to happen with my racing career. For you guys that don't know me, I'm Matty House. I have done 13 years of league racing, 3 of which I have also done on commentary. I have done some esports commentary as well, but I haven't done commentary for a good few years, so you have to bear with me. I'm trying to get back into the swing of things. But yeah, so I think overall, I can see it from a driver's point of view, and I think I can see it from a commentator's point of view as well. So I can see what the drivers are trying to do, whether they're going on different strategies, whether they're doing early stops. I think I can bring something to the party in that respect as well. So as we're waiting for these guys to get ready, we've got 16 in the lobby at the moment. I'm possibly expecting about 20. We're probably going to have more than that because there's obviously 2 guys that haven't selected cars yet. So it should be 18. So we should have a pretty nice grid here in Division 2. I hope everyone can hear me on the stream. If anybody's watching it, if you can just give me a thumbs up, please, that you can hear me on the stream, because I know there was some issues last night, but hopefully everyone can hear me on the stream. There are a few people watching, so if you can just give me the thumbs up and say everything is hunky-dory. In the meantime, while we're getting these guys settled and ready to get rolling, as soon as that timer starts ticking down, I should join back with you. But for the moment, I'm just going to take a minute break, wait for the stream to get live, wait for the guys to get sorted and the timer start ticking down, and I shall be back. So we are live here in Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium for Division 2, Round 7 here in Spa, which I think it should throw up quite a good race. If I'm totally honest, we have some front runner guys, we have some medium pack guys, so we say so to speak. But you can't count yourself out round here because there is a high chance of safety car, there is a high chance of rain, so nobody can count themselves out because anybody can come up. Nico John, for example, on let's talk about Nico John. Very consistent pace in the in the wet weather. I have raced against him in the wet weather, and he does have pace in the wet weather. So we'll just have to see how that actually pans out.
Is constructed out of titanium and adds roughly 9 kilograms to the car's total weight.
At the moment, we can currently see we're in qualifying, and the sky's not pretty clear at the moment, so maybe we do have a clear qualifying. We did see this in Silverstone last night for the D1 guys, where qualifying was clear, race looked clear, and all of a sudden, towards the middle of the race, it became very overcast, and at the end of the race, we did have rain. So it's the same situation here, but we can see rain in Spa.
On lap 3. Formula One is named as such because the participants agree to a set of rules where the formula are the rules and the one referring to the fact that this is a top tier motor race.
We've just gone board with Cable Monkey, that's what we're involved now. We're going board with Cable Monkey. Going to be starting his outlap around Spa. Look at the glorious weather around Spa, such an iconic track, a real driver's track, especially, get through up where they are now through onto the back straight, and then you've got real technical part of the circuit to absolutely nail, and the Monkey's right on the back of that is an AlphaTauri. Drop off and cover my brake and save myself a bit of rest. I'm very quiet on the stream, so bear with me. Let me adjust volume microphones if I can do. Bear with me. What is going on here? Bear with me, just trying to sort out microphone issues. Hopefully now, Touchkey, can you hear me? Touchkey, can you hear me? Hopefully that's much better now. I've raised the microphone volume. Is that better? If you can let me know in the stream, that'd be great. As long as there's a Cable Monkey. I was going to say he should be starting his first lap, but he's ERS Wilkins, he's not using ERS. So is Cable doing a double run? Cable's doing a double run. It's not a bad idea actually. You can double outlap, so you can run two very slow outlaps and then go on your hot lap. And it's not a bad way to go around Spa. It's quite possible. Game sound is now really quiet. In comparison to my own voice. Okay, right, so let me try and sort that. All of a sudden, it's very different to last night. Let me try and sort game sound in comparison to my own voice. Bear with me, please.
One of the longest competitive races. Previous World Championship winners.
Tusky, can you let me know if that's any better now? Hopefully it is. I've altered volumes, etc., etc. Hopefully that sounds better. I've reduced game sound and pulled my microphone away as well, so hopefully that's absolutely miles better. We do have Bobo a second quicker on Westbutt in P2, which is an absolute blind of a lap by Bobo. Absolutely amazing lap by Bobo. We're going to go on board with Zaya. We're on board with Zaya, who did race last night in Division 1. So whether he's a stand-in for Division 2, I'm not too sure. He's full-time Division 2 and raced in Division 1. Not entirely sure, but we're going to go on board with Zaya and just see what he can do throughout this lap through Spa. As he's coming up through Eau Rouge now, downforce around there to make the car grip. Otherwise, coming down the straight, it won't be too good. Game sound is too hard. Sound issues. I don't think. I don't think there's an awful lot I'm going to be able to do with it right this very second. Maybe when there's a gap between Q1 and Q2, I can have a little look at it and reduce the game sound down. I'm hoping. What about now, Tusky? Is that any better? If I do that, is that any better now? So that my voice is more prominent right near the microphone, so I'm trying to overtake the game sound. I can try and turn that game sound if needs be, but it's pretty hard to right now, man. Let me have a look. Okay, you won't be able to hear anything because I was trying to alter settings. Is that any better now, Touchkey? If you can let me know. Let me go on board with a car that's out on track so you can actually see Anj Hamid in P6 and a 46. Sorry, on a 43.5 currently. About 1.3 off the pace, so needs to find a bit of time. Is that better, Touchkey? So is the game sound and my voice much better? Is there a good comparison to say yes quickly so I can carry on with the comms and focus on the comms? Let me know that it's better. Just waiting for the clear from Touchkey to say yes. It's give me one more yes man, and then I'll know that I can focus. One more yes, please, man. Yes, mate, perfect. Right, we'll carry on with that. So, Anj Hamid, P4. Looking to improve his time. He needs to improve his time. Currently 1.3 seconds. No, sorry, not 1.3 seconds. He's 0.8 of a second off of pole currently. But Anj is the kind of driver who can stick it on pole. So we need to see what he can kind of do here. Let's see what his time is in sector 1. Totally missed his sector time, sector 1. Too busy talking to. Oh, and he's gone massively wide. I was too busy talking to Touchkey to make sure the comms was right. And Mohammed has totally bailed out of that. And we do have a AlphaTauri behind him who's also bailed on a lap or is on an in lap. So currently, as it stands, we've got Zayed from who raced last night. So Zayed from Division 1 from last night. Currently, we are sitting on pole with Bob Andy 2 and Baratoka in P3. But do we have no Kev tonight? We have no Kev tonight. Touchkey, we have no Kev tonight. He's not racing. Okay. And we have no Tong Hinga tonight neither. Wow. So we have some main guys tonight that are not racing. So now kind of we're sorry as racing. Let me throw the comms to somebody else and let me get in the driving seat, man. I want to race. If only. Do have a few guys in the pits waiting for their final runs. I'm sorry that qualifying hasn't been the best of comms so far, but we have now sorted the sound issues. There was a slight imbalance. So we're going to see now what the guys can do on their final run. They're going to want to leave it as late as possible because track evolution round here, especially around... Oh, Ton Hinga is racing, but he hasn't set a lap time. Has he just joined? No Kev tonight. Ton Hinga, I think, maybe has just joined. So are we going to see an absolutely last-minute blast lap from Ton Hinga, which it wouldn't surprise me, as we have Jesper on the last flying lap, the first person out, so we're going to go on board with him and see what Jesper can do. Currently in P5 and a 1:43.1, so yeah, he's a good second off the pace. There's quite a gap between these D2 guys. Let's just have a little look at the current gaps. So yeah, look at that. There's huge gaps. There's absolutely huge gaps. The top three in good positions, and then there's a massive gap in this field. It's crazy. So it makes me wonder if some of these guys are set up for rain. Are they set up for rain? Possibly. So they're running a wet race setup and sacrificing quality, because the gaps in this field are absolutely, they're huge. They're massive. But Jesper is the first person to go on his final run. So we're going to go on board with Jesper and see what Jesper can do. Let's actually go totally, fully on board with Jesper. We're going to go into fully on board mode and see what Jesper can do as he approaches the final chicane. He's absolutely prepares perfectly. He does. Down in second. Oh, and that little snap of Oath to start his lap is not ideal whatsoever as he approaches T1. brake as late as possible, grab that apex as much as you can, slightly misses the apex, it's not the end of the world, though, because you will still get a good launch out of that apex. Absolutely nail it through here, absolutely flat, do not lift, you can take it flat absolutely easily, open your DRS as soon as you can do, excuse me, in preparation for the fast right left-hander. Flip as much as curve you can do, as much as left as curve you can do, and he does. And the right-hand curve as well. Let the car drift wide, he does. Brake as late as you can do in here. Take it in late. He's decided to keep it in early, which, yeah, it's his prerogative what he does, but it's a good few sections through there for him. He's done. No, he's lost it. He took too much of that left-hand curve. He's going to lost time. We'll see what his sector 2 time is, but he's definitely lost time there. We'll just quickly grab his sector 2 and see where he is. And his run wide is invalidated, so he's not going to prove it's going to be at best a P5 for Zespa. We're going to go on board with I think that is a Red Bull. Is it a Red Bull? It is a Red Bull. Is it Blue Dart? It is Blue Dart. Blue Dart on a lap. Let's go on board with Blue Dart. Don't seem to cover him too much, and we should probably cover him a little bit more. Let's see what he can do on his final run. He's going to miss the line. He's missed the line. Am I wrong? He's missed the line. Let's go out of here. We're going to go on board with Bobo. Bobo in sector 1. Let's see what Bobo can do. Keep this line tight. Chop as much of this curb as you dare. And the left-hand one. Little short shift onto the right. Full throttle it as much as you can do it. And that's a lovely line by Bobo. Is he letting the car drift wide? Yeah, it's a good line. It's a good line. Pull it to the right, pull it to the left. Short shift again, which he's doing. Absolutely perfect by Bobo. Can't fault that whatsoever. Short shift down, full throttle, which he's done. It's looking good by Bobo. We're going to see what the sector 2 is, but Bobo is looking good. If he can hold this lap together, full gear, nice. The game does tell you to take that in a higher gear and to take it wider, which is not the way to take that bend whatsoever. You need to short shift earlier and take the line tighter. Bobo's looking good. Is he going to press his eye on that P1? He might be pushing his eye for that P1. We're going to see what Bobo can do. Bobo is going to be the last person across the line. He needs to absolutely nail the final hairpin. Swing it out right, swing it in there. Good on the traction early, full throttle as much as can. It could be a pole for Bobo. It is a pole for Bobo. Bobo has taken the pole. Absolutely massive congratulations by Bobo. What a final lap that was. Wow. Bobo. So Bobo last week looked on fire. Bobo this week looks on fire. Bobo is on pole here in Division 2 at Spa. That's a good time by Bobo. A very good time. My personal lap time round here is a 20, a 20, a 41.8. So Bobo's time is a very good time. And we have Bobo on pole here in D2 in Belgium. And if you remember, Bobo last week pulled out an absolute blinding race. If I remember with Thomas when I was commentating last week, pulled out an absolute blinder of a race. Seems to come from nowhere. Bobo seems to have found a bit of rhythm, shall we say, and he's really trying to stamp down a bit of authority within this league, saying, you know, guys, come on, I am here, I can do this. So fair play to him. Bobo on pole. with a cracking pole lap. Zayed from D1. Touchkeys, is Zayed a D1 racer and he's filling in for D2? Or is he a D2 racer filling in for D1? That would be interesting to know. If you can let me know. It'd be very interesting to know. But we're just waiting for the teams, the drivers, set the strategies, wait for race control to say it's time to go. It does seem, just looking how we're looking at the moment, if we look at the clouds at the moment, it's cloudy compared to qualifying, if I'm honest. So he's a D2 racer. Okay, so he's a D2 racer. So he's in D1 last night. So Zaya doing a quality job, securing his P2 as a D2 racer. But just looking at the clouds, and it is clouding over as we are about to start. Oh, we have formation lap on. Okay. So tonight we are running a formation lap. I'm not sure if we're supposed to be doing that touch key, but we do have a formation lap going. So hopefully this doesn't bring glitches. I know last night we didn't have a formation lap. So let's see how the formation lap pans out. Bobo's not wasting a lot of time, if I'm honest. He kind of take off, but he is now backing it off slightly. Lots of weaving of tyres going on. If you know your trick, you don't need to be doing that. Anyone watching, don't bother weaving. Cover your brake with a bit of throttle as well. Trail braking through, and you don't need to do that, and you'll save your total tyre wear. I didn't say that, but there you go. So we have 22 laps around here through Spa. Obviously, it is quite a long chat. PS has no formation lap grip. Yeah. Okay, so right, so we're good on formation lap. Okay. There's obviously a bit of crossplay going on in D1. Okay, so we're running formation lap, which personally I haven't had any issues with, whether it be PS or crossplay. I think it does come down to internet connection of the personal guys. If I'm honest, running internet like I do, you don't have to worry about it whatsoever. We've got Bobo. He's sitting on pole of the Belgian Grand Prix. He's gonna, if I'm honest, he won't stop backing this pack up because they're quite spread to Bobo really needs to slow down. There is a huge gap between a McLaren and I'm just trying to work out who that is. Wazza and Cable Monkey, I believe. Absolutely massive gap, which I'm not a fan of. You've got to keep within 10 cars width, and that wasn't 10 cars width, so it wouldn't surprise me if it is a rule that there might be some investigation going on there. Look at that purple helmet there, sitting in Bobo's car. Lovely purple helmet, shining away. Starting on his set of mediums, we are going to look at the starting tyres. Let's have a look at tyres. There we go. As we're about to start the race, the screen is giving me an absolutely shocking view. I'm so sorry. I can't see the lights whatsoever. But we're on board with Bobo, who gets launch. The top 5 are on mediums. Bobo looks to have got a decent launch. There is a Williams down the inside as well, who's also got an amazing launch, who could now be looking at a potential P2. I'm sure he started P5, and that's Baratofa. We're going to keep on board with the top 3 at the moment, as the top 3 are creating a gap already. To Ange, who doesn't seem to have an answer currently. And it's Baratofa who's keeping on the outside, which isn't a bad move. If he can cut that inside line and get a good exit, but he doesn't, they're going to stay in line. We're going to just slightly alter the settings there and just see what the gap to leader is. And we can already see that Anj Hamid, is already 1.4 seconds off P3. So the top three already stamping authority to pull away, which around here, if you can do that, you're laughing. If you can gain that gap and keep out of DRS, then you're in a very, very, very ideal situation. And Hamid is massively struggling, as we've got Ola Witchery right behind him on the set of softs, looking to make this move to try and push him to gain up to that P4 position and hopefully gain up to P3. Ola Ritchie on that alternative strategy, starting on softs, which, yeah, it's not a bad call. It's not a bad call. It can work. You can go soft, hard here. I mean, pushing a soft medium is tough. Well, it's doable, but it's tough. But Ola Ritchie looking racy. It's good to see Ola Ritchie looking racy. So we're gonna keep a little eye on Ola Ritchie and see what he can pull out here. Again, as per the game, the timing deltas are absolutely screwed up, so it's very hard to see what's going on. So we're gonna currently, as it stands, until these standings sort themselves out, we're gonna go on board with Ola Ritchie, who is looking on the back of Anji Hamid. Can't quite make the move there. Anji Hamid looking to defend. Is defended well. Ola Ritchie's still sitting there looking to make that move as fast as he can do. He's on that set of softs, so he needs to make you... Oh, we got VSE. We have a VSE. We have a VSE already. Who is that? I think it's possibly... Yeah, I'm not too sure. One of the cars at the back is either Blue Dark or Jesper that's had an issue, or is it Nico John? Maybe it's Nico John that's had an issue. One of the guys at the back has had an issue, so it's going to neutralise the field, and hopefully when these guys cross the line shortly, these timings will get sorted out, because these timings currently are ridiculous and it's very hard to work out what is going on. The typical 23 game, hopefully 24 game, they sort this out. Normally takes 2 or 3. Oh, and Redoubts a drive through for speeding under the VSC. That is not what Redoubts would have wanted. Redoubts currently P13, not in his ideal position, on a set of softs with a drive through. Probably not what he ideally wanted, to be honest. We are under racing conditions again. We are green flag. We are going to watch to see what Ola Ritchie can do with these set of softs. He's potentially on the better tyre currently, but can he make use of these tyres? That is the key thing. We are going to keep an eye on that as well. We need to keep an eye on other battles that are going on within the field. I am going to drop back to... We're going to go back to Redoubts, who is in a spot of bother, if I'm totally honest. He has a... Was it drive-through or was it just a 3-second? So Redoubts currently carrying a penalty, and if I'm honest, currently in no man's land. So probably... See, Redoubts is a good driver. He's a really good driver, but he's just finding himself in absolute no man's land at the moment with a penalty running wide there as well. I don't think that house is as nailed as it wants to be, as Cable Monkey picks up a 3-second time penalty as well in P11. Let's go up to the gaps are pretty. Let's alter the gaps. Let's put it to interval. That make it a hell of a lot easier. Let's have a look at Tyago. We don't mention Tyago. Have I raced Tyago? Touchkey, have I raced him? I'm not too sure. Have I raced him? Fastest laps been put in Tiago. So on a set of softs, going the same strategy as Ala Richie in P4, also readouts in P13. So he's the middle of the guys on that soft strategy. He needs to close that 1.2 second gap to Tonhinga like crazy. Needs to get on the back of Tonhinga to be able to let Tonhinga pull him through, because it's a long lap round here. So those softs are going to give it a lap or two. Those softs are going to die without a shadow of a doubt. So soft runners need to maximise what they can do at the moment to pull themselves through. And Tiago cannot keep with the pace of Tonhinga. So are the softs dying off already? Let's have a little look further up the field as to what Ala Richie is doing. And he's intervaled 2.8 behind Baratofa. So that I personally think those softs are dying. The softs are not working. The softs are not working. No, there's another 3 temps gone. So the soft runners, whoever's gone on the softs, have gambled maybe for a very, very, very early safety car, for which they carry their softs through to maybe a set of hards on their second stint, and it's not paid out for them. So much so now, Angie Hamid is on the back of Aloha Richie. So the softs are struggling. The softs are majorly struggling. Whoever's gone on the softs has not made a good call. Redax down to P15. Tiago P9. Aloha Richie P4. But under massive attack now from Angie Hamid, who has our voice right behind him as well. So the softs are not working, as we have now Zayed, who's taken lead over Bobo into P1. So Zayed is taking control of this race here in Spa. And we also have Baratofa right there with him. So we do have a 3-way battle. We haven't looked at this for a little while, so we have been looking down the middle of the pack with regards to what the soft runners are actually doing, but the softs are not working. So currently, as it stands, the medium runners, the top 3 pace, the top 3 guys, Zaya, Bobo, Baratofa, in the top 3 positions, are the guys who are controlling this race. So the softs are not working. The softs are really not working. So we currently, as it stands, we need to look at this top 3. We also need to. Ala Richie is going to struggle. So we're going to see Angie Hamid and Era Voice closing up very rapidly to attack Ala Richie, as we're going to see from Waza should be catching up, but he can't seem to do it. So maybe Tiago has got the pace off of Waza, but we're looking at the top 3, and we've got Zayed, Bobo, Baratofa, all within a second of each other. Bobo all over the back of Zayed, absolutely hassling the back of that McLaren. The McLaren needs to get that line right, needs to get a good drive off here, because he is going to be under threat. He is going to be under threat under Bobo. He's going to be under threat from Bobo, and Baratofa is not far behind, just sitting there waiting for his move. Slightly further back, just dipped out of DRS. Has he dipped out of DRS? No, he has got it. Here comes Bobo. Bobo making a move. Bobo has made a move. Bobo back up into P1. So P1, P2, scrapping it out between the Ferrari and the McLaren, with Baratofa in a Williams in P3. P4 certainly ditched off the pace. So as far as I'm concerned, from a driver's point of view and commentator's point of view, we do have a 3-car battle for the lead. There's now a 5-second gap already. 5-second gap already to the top 3. Only 6 laps in. We do have a 5-second gap. Blue Dark, something's happened to Blue Dark. Let's have a little look with Blue Dark. What has happened with Blue Dark? Has he just had an incident? I think he's just had an incident. But the soft runners are going to struggle. Although saying that, Aula Ritchie is sticking with Angie Hamid quite nicely. If he could do... Oh, Cable Ritchie, 3 seconds. If... excuse me. If Aula Ritchie could stick with Angie Hamid and just let him pull him along a bit. I just want to have a little look at this because tide degradation is high around here, but they do go through a massive grading phase, and those softs will actually come back to you. They will come back to you, like the mediums will do. These guys will be feeling pain at the moment, even on mediums. They'll be starting to feel pain, but they will come back to you. You can take the mediums over half race distance. And it's just going to show that the softs will not die yet, because they've gone through that horrible grading phase where Aula Ritchie lost positions and has lost a massive amount of time against Car's head. But now those tyres are starting to come back to him as well. And Aula Ritchie has a massive opportunity here to overtake Angie Hamid back for P4. And if he can pull these softs out, as long... Oh, Zayed! What's happened to Zayed? Zayed's off. Zayed is off. He's out of spin. Zayed's off. And Baratova's taking the lead. Angie Hamid's in P2 as well. What has happened to Zayed? What has happened to Bobo? Has there been contact between the two of them? I totally misunderstood. I'm so sorry. But all of a sudden now, Zayed and Bobo are down to 7th and 6th. 7th and 4th, respectively. And net race leader now is Baratova from absolutely nowhere. I did say he was sitting there, just comfortably sitting there, and all of a sudden, he's now in the lead with a 5-second gap, near the 6-second gap. With Angie Hamid behind him on a set of mediums, who, if I'm honest, looks like he's struggling on those mediums. And Aula Ritchie, on the softs, is keeping with him. Aula Ritchie's absolutely... This is an amazing call from Aula Ritchie. It really is. If he's trying to stretch these out to a set of mediums, he's trying a soft medium strategy, whereas I'm sure Baratova and Angie Hamid are looking at a medium hard strategy. What's happened to Bobo again? Bobo's down again. Oh, he's boxed. Bobo's boxed. So Bobo's boxed for a set of hards already. On lap 8, Bobo's boxed for a set of hards already. Oh, Bobo, dude. No, oh man. There's so much happening. It's so hard to concentrate on everything that's keeping an eye on everything. And now we've got Nico John. Nico John is all over the back of Bobo, because Nico John's mediums are only 7 laps old and Bobo's hards are fresh. So Nico John's going to be looking to make that move already on Bobo. Can Nico John keep within Bobo and make that move and make use of his medium tyres? It's not looking like he quite can do. I think Bobo's just got the out-and-out pace on Nico John, as we see that gap increasing as we speak. We're going to go on board with Tom Hinga. Tom Hinga on the back of the Williams now. Tom Hinga on the back of Al Shakal. Tom Hinga already blinking, so he's used his RS. What can Tom Hinga do down this straight? Both on exactly the same strategy. So this is a fight for net positions. And we do have now Aula Ritchie in the pits on his set of softs. Let's have a little look and see what he's going on to. He's going on a set of mediums. Ooh, they're not going to last to the end. They won't last to the end. Aula Ritchie, I'm convinced, is going to have to box again. I'm convinced he's going to have to box again. We're going to go back on board once again with... Where is that battle? I was just watching. Tom Hinga and Al Shakal. Here it is. Tom Hinga and Al Shakal. Down the back straight. Tom Hinga and Al Shakal. Tom Hinga makes the move. Round the outside. What a move by Tom Hinga. Takes himself up to P3. Cracking move there. Oh, I'm trying to catch as much as I can do. This is absolutely blinding. Come on, lads. Come on, D2. Let's show what race can we can do. Now Scott's come back and Tom here again with the cutback. What an absolute move there by Ashkel. We're going to stick on Bobby Tonhinga. This is a cracking battle at the moment. Readout still going on his set of 8-lap-old softs. He's going to be stretching these out probably for a set of mediums. If he's going to go hard, he needs to go now. But it looks like he's going to stretch it out. Tonhinga slightly dropping back off the back of Ashkel. So both of them had a bit of a battle there. Both on the same strategies as on the top 5. They're all on at 8-lap-old mediums. Bobo, 1-lap-old hards. Let's look at this. Bobo, 1-lap-old hards. The top 6 plus the 3 behind Bobo, all on mediums, all on, by the time they cross the line, 9-lap-old mediums. That's not going to work. Bobo, I'm calling this now, Bobo is in a almighty position. Here it is. Here he comes. Tonhinga again. Tonhinga going to take it down the inside of Ashkel. He does. Tonhinga is blinking. He's ditching his DRS. Mate, you've ditched it so early. You're going to be in so much trouble later. Ashkel just needs to concentrate and see what he's going to do come the end of the race. We're going to try and flick back now and look at Nico John and Zayed. Nico John on the back of Zayed. Only a 5-tenth gap down the straight. Can Nico John make any headway? No, he can't, because I believe Zayed, did he have DRS? It could have been close. Readout still going on these set of softs. Readout still going on his set of softs. What a stint from Readouts on this set of softs. And just looking at the deltas, you know, he's not too far off Zayed on Cable Monkey. We've got a yellow flag. What's the yellow flag? Oh, it's quickly gone. The yellow flag's very, very quickly gone. Arlo Ritchie on his new set of mediums. He's gone mediums. Arlo Ritchie's gone mediums. Okay, she boxed for mediums. Wow, Ola Ritchie's gone on to a set of mediums. Okay, wowza. We've got all the top 3, top 4 pitting again. They're two stopping on a set of hards. What are they doing? Honestly, there's so many messed up strategies in this race. This is absolutely bonkers here. D2 in Spa is absolutely crazy, the strategies that these guys are pulling out. You know, you start mediums, you do what was it, about 8 laps on mediums? You do another 4 laps on mediums and you're in again for a set of hards. It's just bizarre. I can't understand what these guys are doing. We've got an absolute massive gap here between Bobo and Angie Hamid. Angie Hamid right behind now Bobo, trying to make this move stick. These two have been batting it out since the beginning of the race. This is crazy stuff from these D2 guys here in Spa. I can't keep up with it all. This is where I need Thomas here to help. This is absolutely crazy. The battles that we've got going on. I will look further down the field out respect to these guys, but there are gaps. There are massive time penalties. Nico John right on the back of Cable Monkey, but is also carrying a time penalty. He's 10 seconds off the back of Thiago. We have Jesper just out of DRS of Nico John. We have Ishii 2.5 seconds back off of Jesper, struggling with a penalty as well. Readouts on a strategy that's not working for him. It's not going to work for him because the other guys ahead have already made 2 stops of Readouts with his soft medium strategy. It's not going to work. 10 seconds behind Ishii. It's not going to work out whatsoever. Brass Monkeys 11 seconds behind Readouts, and we've got Blue Dart 13 seconds behind that as well. So we are going to go slightly forward. Everyone's actually not within DRS at the moment. So nobody has DRS with the car in front of them. The closest from what I can see is currently Angie Hammond to Bobo. That's current closest DRS battle we do have. No, it's not. We have Nico John behind Cable Monkey, but these guys are out of contention. I feel a little sad for them that they're totally out of contention because they are carrying a massive amount of penalties. So I do want to kind of focus on this battle ahead. We will go back to the other guys as well just to see what they are covering. Angie Hammond is now. Is he within that DRS of Bobo? He's within DRS of Bobo. He's out of DRS of Bobo. They are fluctuating within DRS limits here. Angie Hammond's trying to get within that DRS of Bobo. He can't quite make it. It's fluctuating. On entry of bends, Bobo's faster. On exit, Angie Hammond's faster. So I believe Angie Hammond is running a higher downforce. Angie Hammond's now almost within half a second of Bobo. So Angie Hammond's gained a load of time. Angie Hammond, and we've got Bartova in the pits. Bartova in the pits from his set of mediums. What's he going on to? Let's have a look, see what Bartova's going onto. It's going to have to be a snug set of mediums. It's got to be. You can't take softs that far. He's gone softs. Bartova's gone softs. What a bold strategy from Bartova, and Aula Ricci takes reading on his 4-lap old mediums. Aula Ricci, all of a sudden from nowhere, is in control of this race, but does carry a penalty. We'll have a look, see what that penalty is. I'm sure that penalty is a 3-second. It is a 3-second. We get rid of it. I hate looking time penalty. So Aula Ricci is covering the 3-second time penalty as it stands. Bartova on the fresh set of softs, but's got to take them to the end of the race. 11 laps on a set of softs, which, do you know what? He might have played a blinder because Bobo Angie and Tohinga, for example, all behind him on a set of hards. Those hards are going to be horrible against Bartota's softs at the moment. So Bartota should be absolutely. We keep an eye on the distance between Bartova and Bobo, and just see what that gap is like. So it's 5 seconds. We'll have a look at that in 2 laps time. Lap 15, we look at P2 and P3 and just see what that gap's like, and see what Bartova can do, and see if he can pull out a huge gap, because those softs are going to be immense. But can they carry on to the end of the race? We'll have to see. Angie Hammond, Angie Hammond, now still on the back of Bobo. These two fighting like absolute crazy. These two looking for track position for that P3. This is a fight for the podium. Don't forget, guys, this is a fight for the podium, and these two guys will be going at it like crazy. Bobo, to be honest, this lad has impressed me. Absolutely, I've raced him in a fair few races in D2, as you guys know. I have raced him, and to be honest, he wasn't there. Wasn't there at all. But the last 2 weeks, Bobo has bought an A game, and Bobo is a force to be reckoned with. So whoever's racing in D2, do not underestimate Bobo whatsoever. Bartova into P1 on his set of softs. There we go. We're not even looking at lap 15. Bang! He's there. He's flying. This lad is flying. Bartova, can he keep these softs alive? Can he pull out that gap to Aula Ricci, who's on 5-lap old mediums? Bartova's got to use his softs. Get out of DRS fast. He can't let Aula Ricci stay in DRS. He's got to ditch him out of DRS as far as he can do. That's what he's doing. He's out of DRS now. Ditch him out of DRS and use those softs and pull away from the rest of the field. And you, my son, have put yourself in a massive, massive good position for this race win. Once you're out of it, look after those softs. Look after those softs. We're going to go back on board with Angie Hammond again. Once again, fighting with Bartova. and we've got Tonhinga there now as well. We have a three-way battle now. We have a three-way battle for that final podium position with Bobo, Angie Ritchie, Tonhinga, all batting out. So Tonhinga sends it down the inside, probably not the move to make it. Wait, lad, wait for the straight, and you'll both get Bobo. Just bide your time, man. Bide your time and hold on. Al Kachal on the back of Zayed as well. Looking for that P6, Zayed carrying a penalty. Let's have a little look back further down the grid. I'm so sorry, lads. I haven't been covering this, but up front is so crazy. Nico John on the back of Cable Monkey. You're all carrying time penalties. It's so hard to concentrate on what you guys are doing. We need to concentrate on up front what is happening. Angie Hamid on the back of Bobo. Round the outside of Bobo. Can he make that stick? No, he hasn't. He's gone off track. He's also used ERS. Angie Hamid, that movement's not worked, and Bobo keeps into the P3. And now Angie Hamid is under attack from Tonhinga. So Angie Hamid is pushing. He's pushing like crazy on those set of hards, using his ERS. And Angie Hamid, out of the two of them, if I'm honest, is probably in the worst position. We're going to have a little look up front at the moment. Not going to go on screen with them. We're keeping an eye on these guys that we're currently watching. I'm going to commentate on the guys in front. Bartofa on those set of softs has pulled out over a 3-second gap already, with Ola Ritchie carrying a penalty as well. So Bartofa has fair play to you. I would congratulate you come the end of the race. If you can keep those softs going, man, those softs are going to be like horrible at the end of the race. So keep them going, man. And here we come. Angie Hamid again, looking on the inside of Bobo. It's not going to work. Shall we have a little look at ERS? Shall we have a look at ERS? Touchkey, tell me. Shall we look at ERS? Shall we spoil it? Shall we look at ERS? I hate looking at ERS, but shall we look at ERS? See what these guys are doing to see who's safe. Now, I have a sneaky feeling Angie Hamid's in a pile of rubbish, a pile of crap, and he's already down to P5. Let's have a look. Let's spoil it. Let's have a look at ERS. Let's go on to the telemetry and let's see what these guys are doing on the ERS. So Bobo P3, 27% ERS. P4, Tonhinga looking at the move on. Oh, and it's not working. Tonhinga's goes Maisie wide. Could be under attack for Angie Hamid, but he's not. So we've got Bobo 33%, Tonhinga 13%. We've got Angie Hamid 20%. But Bobo's looking in the better position. If Bobo can control this, let the guys behind you fight. Tonhinga and Angie Hamid, let them fight, and Bobo could potentially pull away. Use your ERS, in the right positions. So, for example, break here into the bend. Use a little ditch out of there as well. Ditch it a little bit. Is he ditching it? No, he's not. He's decided not to use it. But the guys behind are in a slight bit of trouble with their ERS, and now we're going to get rid of that. There you go, little spoiler. Woo-hoo-hoo! There you go. So Bobo looking good. Tonhinga and Angie Hamid looking for the ones that are going to be fighting it out. Excuse me, for that P4. Bobo's looking comfortable. If he can manage that gap, use his ERS maybe wisely. If he wants to go for a, say, lap 1920, blitz it, get out of ERS mode, DRS sort of mode, and the guys behind can't catch him. That could be a wise move. Or if Tonhinga and Angie Hamid want to battle it out, then Bobo could be in a nice position here. We're going to go and look at front again. Baratofa now nearly 6 seconds ahead of Ola Ritchie, who's carrying that 3-second time penalty. Can he keep those tyres going? Tell me, guys, in the chat, can he keep them going? Can Bartofa keep those tyres going for P1? Personally, I think he can. Personally, I think he's made a lovely call. We've got Jay Dennis in the chat. Yeah, rest up, man. I know you're poorly, Jay Dennis. Rest up, man. Health is more important than racing, dude. So rest up, and hopefully see you back soon, yeah? And I'll miss racing with you, dude. Miss racing with you. We're going to fight. concentrate again on Tonhinga, who's still keeping within Bobo. So Bobo needs to manage. Is he managing the arrest? What do you reckon? Is he managing the arrest, knowing he feels more comfortable? His tyres are older as well. So his tyres are 3 laps older. So are we going to see Tonhinga and Angie Hamid come back at Bobo because their tyres are younger? Bobo's struggling. I think Bobo's struggling with those tyres. I did see him lose it a little bit. I know you said it, Touchkey, as well. I did see him lose it a little bit. So this battle for the final podium position is not out of reach yet by any means from all 3 of them. Any 3 of these could take P3. So we will keep an eye on that. I do want to go back and have a look at some of the other guys because I don't feel we've given them enough stream time, if I'm honest. So we got Tiogo at the moment, and he's pushing on the back of Nico John. Nico John, we're used to seeing up the field, shall we say? I don't think it's been a particularly great race from Nico John. I don't quite know what's gone wrong with him, whether he's had an incident, if it's not a strong track for him, if the setup's not quite right. But for Nico John, this race hasn't quite gone as planned. I'm going to quickly shoot back to P4 because P4 Tonhinga's all over the back of Bobo, asking question marks of Bobo, saying, "Are your tyres good enough, man? My tyres feel good." And Tonhinga is pushing Bobo, knowing, I think, Tonhinga's picked up a 3-second time penalty. That's really played a part now. And currently it's looking Bartova, Bobo and Angie Hamid that are going to take the P3, because now Tonhinga is really giving himself a headache, and he's blinking. Tonhinga's blinking, so he's ditched his ERS. I'm not going to look at it yet. I know, Touchkey, you want me to look. I'm not looking at it yet. I'm going to look at it lap 20. Let's look lap 20 and see what these guys are doing. But these 2 are batting it out like crazy, and fair play to them. This is for the final podium position, but Tonhinga now has put himself in an absolute world of nightmare, knowing that he's got a penalty and that he's out of ERS and can see the other cars around him have still ERS because they are not blinking. We're going to go back to Tiogo because now Tiogo trying to make the move on Cable Monkey, cuts the penalty, cuts the pen, gives himself a 3-second time penalty. Oh, that's not the cleanest of moves I've seen, shall we say. But no, he's got Cable Monkey. What's going? Oh, there we go. Cable Monkey's doing the switchback. Yeah, nicely done. Very clever. Nice switchback. Tiogo's also out of ERS. I saw him blinking. There you go. You can see him blinking now. Let's have a look at as well. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to cover as much as I can do, but the field's pretty spread out, man, right? So there's only P10 and 11 who are close together, and then top 3, 4, 5 who are close together. So it's hard to look where to watch. I do feel we need to focus on P3, P4, P5 because this is where the battle is. And Tonhinga is struggling to keep with Bobo, and his tyres are younger. He's struggling to keep with Bobo. Tonhinga has ditched his ERS. I think Bobo may be using his ERS to get out of Tonhinga's DRS, so Bobo can try and challenge and keep that P3. Angie Hamid's going to say, I want a piece of this as well, so he's going to be all over Tonhinga, who has a massive wobble there. Can't keep the car in a straight line. Tonhinga is struggling. I think Tonhinga's struggling. We are on lap 20, so here you go, Touchkey. We are going to see now exactly what the ERS is like. So let's have a look at Bobo. Bobo touching 20%. So has drained a bit. Tonhinga drained it. It's gone. Angie Hamid 45%. Angie Hamid is in an ideal opportunity. Angie Hamid needs to keep with Tonhinga and could take the P4. What do we think? Angie Hamid into P4. What do we think? Let me know on the stream, guys. Come on, you're watching. There's loads of you watching. Come on, comment. What do we reckon? Angie Hamid up to P4. It's going to happen. Brass Monkeys with a 3-second time penalty. Bartofa's kept those softs alive. Only 2 laps to go. Still a 5-second back gap. Bartofa, hats off to you, sir. Absolutely brilliant strategy. Angie Hamid. I don't know. It just feels like he hasn't got the pace. Even though the ERS of Tonhinga, it just feels like Angie Hamid hasn't quite got the pace, but he is closing it down now. So I think he's using his ERS now. He is using his ERS now. You can see he's used his ERS now. Tonhinga on 10%. Bobo, 19%. These guys are bashing him for this position. They know how close it is. Tonhinga knows that he needs to try and keep hold of a P4, sorry, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Tonhinga is going to lose that P4 position. Oh, come on. I want to see Angie Hamid on the back of Bobo just to see what happens here. We have 2 laps to go, 1.5 laps to go, nearly 1.5 laps to go. This is immense. I'm so sorry for the rest of the field, but you're so far apart that it needs to be focused on here. And Bobo and Tonhinga are going at it. Bobo and Tonhinga are going at it. Tonhinga has taken a position for Bobo. It's not going to make any difference, but what it has done has brought Angie Hamid on the back of Bobo, which could then make the difference against Tonhinga. So Tonhinga could still end up P5. And Bobo and Angie Hamid jumping in. Bartofa still now 4.5 seconds ahead of Aula Ritchie in P2. Those guys, cracking race, by the way. Aula Ritchie, I know he's not, typically the guy you would say is right up near the front. So hats off to him for an absolute blinder. To be honest, I'll call it in a bit. I'll call it in the end of the race, but he's in contention for driver of the day without a shadow of doubt. We're going to concentrate on this P3 because this P3 is hotting up. At the end of the race, this P3 is really hotting up. Who's going to take the win? We shall see. We have literally got 1 lap to go now. We've got 1 lap to go. Tonhinga trying to hold on like crazy against his guys, but he's got nothing to hold on with. He's got a penalty. These guys have got more pace ahead of him. He's got no ERS neither. Bobo, Angie Hamid are going to be absolutely all over the back of Tonhinga. Down this straight, we're going to see Bobo pass him. Are we going to see Angie Hamid pass him as well? With the straight line speed as well. Has Angie Hamid got him as well? Oh, there's contact between Tonhinga and Bobo. There was contact. There's contact not needed there, lads. Bobo, just drive it at set speed, man. You've got it. So have you, Angie. You've got it as well. Tonhinga trying so desperately to hold on to his position, which he's going to lose. He's going to lose it anyway. Why is he holding on so hard? Tonhinga, man, you don't need to hold on to it so hard. You shouldn't be holding on to it so hard. You're going to lose it. And you just drive it home within that penalty of Tonhinga, and you'll take P4, and Bobo's going to take P3. And if I'm not mistaken, that's two podiums in a row for Bobo? I'm sure it's 2 podiums in a row for Bobo. We're going to go on board with the race leader. Come around and find a few bends now. Bartofa on this set of softs, who's actually pulled the gap out even more. Bartofa on a set of softs, pulls out the win. Here in Spa on a set of softs, pulling out an amazing strategy. Aula Ritchie on his set of mediums, taking out P2. Who is going to take P3? It's going to be Bobo who takes P3. Angie Hamid's going to jump Tonhinga for P4, which he does. Tonhinga P5. Zahid drops down to P7. Al Shakal into P6 as well. Wow. Oh, Zoe DNF'd. Oh, okay. That's something stewards need to look at. Zoe as DNF, sorry, across the line. I think he's binned it across the line on purpose. So I think stewards need to look at that. Zoe's binned it across the line, put himself into the wall, and has actually DNF'd himself. So now is actually out of the top 12, 13. Zoid, what have you done, man? What have you just done? What have you just done? So, jeez, how do we evaluate this race? To be honest, there was only sort of two races. There was the top sort of four, and then there was a gap sort of fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and then we had another midfield gap as well who were covering penalties. And I'm sorry, it's so hard to watch everybody. It's so hard to watch everybody, but there was a massive battle for P3 which we needed to keep on top of. Yeah, so let's evaluate. Let's have a look at our rounding up positions for the end of the race. We're just waiting for it to load now. Here we go. What an end to the race. I feel like this is a better race than last night. You know, no disrespect to the D1 guys, but I felt like there was more involvement tonight. Cal, the seaside, that was so boring. Is that Al Shakel in the chat? Is that you, dude? Yeah, so here we go. So we got P1, Boratofa going on those set of softs towards the end of the race. What a strategy he pulled out. And to be honest, an absolute blinder. Ola Ritchie in P2. We've got Bobo in P3. Angie Hamid in P4. Tonhinga P5. Alshikal P6. Wazar P7. Readouts P8. Nico John P9. And round at the top 10, we have Cable Monkey. For me, driver of the day, if I was going to pick one, I know Tonhinga, I know you've come from P17 up to P5, but we expect you to be up there. My standout driver for the day, who I didn't expect to be up there, Ola Ritchie in a P2. You have my driver of the day. Congratulations to you. Great race. All of you, great race. It's been a pleasure. It's been an absolute pleasure commentating on D2 tonight, where, do you know what? I miss racing with you guys. I know I've hung up my boots. It's for my own reasons. I've hung up my boots. I can't concentrate on the racing anymore. My passion out of racing's gone, and I feel, do you know what? I feel my passion's in this now. Commentating tonight, it'd been lovely to have another commentator, but commentating tonight, I've loved it. Thank you, D2. Thank you, D2, for a cracking race. Thank you, D1, for a race last night. Thank you, Touchski. Thank you, Divine Eye, for giving me the opportunity. Thank you, lads. Love you all. Thank you so much for a cracking race. This is Ali House signing out for tonight. Cracking race D2. Catch you all soon.